Hi everyone, greetings from New York's Hudson Valley. Paul and I are on vacation this week and we're staying in Rhinebeck, New York, and I wanted to show you our Airbnb that we are staying in because it's absolutely beautiful. It's at a place called Hart Hill Farm, and it's like this little guest house behind the main house where the owners live. And it's just absolutely cute. So I'm going to show it to you. I'll do a quick little tour. All right, so here is the bed and nice corner windows. Beautiful view outside the windows. It's a nice little sitting area here. And they very kindly left us some honey. So raw honey from the farm. We've got some closet space, some extra blankets should we need them, and there's a little bag of lavender hanging from the back of the door to make it smell nice. And here's coffee and tea and wine glasses and a corkscrew. Lots of thoughtful little details. Half and half in the fridge. Coffee mugs. And then this is the bathroom, which is beautiful and enormous. So here is the shower. Nice little toiletries. So yeah, that's the quick tour of where we're staying. I think it's absolutely lovely, and we are going to have a wonderful week here. Alright, so I also want to show you the beautiful outdoor space. Look at this deck. That's Paul sneezing. Our host told us that she can pull out cushions for us. Cushions were put away because it was raining earlier today. But now the rain has stopped and it looks like we're going to have really good weather for this trip. I hope so. So, little table here. And then, as you can see, there is just an absolutely gorgeous little garden back here with a gazebo. And these nice Adirondack chairs over here. I think that's probably a fire pit that's covered up. But I think this just looks like a really inviting place to sit down with a glass of wine. Let's go in the gazebo real quick. This is beautiful. There's lights on. Little string lights. And what a perfect little spot, again, to just sit and relax with a glass of wine. Beautiful wind chimes. And just look at how pretty it is here. Absolutely perfect. Hello, good morning. We are just getting ready to head out for the day, but I wanted to tell you what we did last night. I was too tired to take the camera with me and worry about vlogging, but we walked around Rhinebeck a little bit, and it is just as cute a village as it was when I lived in this area about 15 years ago. It's still just adorable. And we had dinner at, we had happy hour at Terrapin, which is one of Rhinebeck's most well-known restaurants. And we just sat at the bar and had a couple of beers. And then we drove up the road to an old favorite of mine, the Ever Ready Diner, which is in Hyde Park, right off of Route 9. And we had a nice junk food dinner there. I had French toast. Paul had pot roast, and it was really nice to go back there. And then we kind of came back here and just collapsed. We were very tired from a full day of traveling. And now it is, I don't know what time it is, maybe like 8:30 or something. And we are going to head into Rhinebeck again, and I think we're going to have breakfast probably at Bread Alone, which is the local bakery. And I will take you along with me for that. And then I think we're going to probably do some outdoorsy stuff. We're thinking maybe the walkway over the Hudson, or visiting the grounds of the Vanderbilt Mansion. I used to hike around the Vanderbilt Mansion, so I'm familiar, but I've never done the walkway over the Hudson, and I feel like I should have. So we're going to probably do that today. And then this evening, very exciting, we are going to the CIA, the Culinary Institute of America, I should say, to have dinner at the French restaurant Bocuse. So looking forward to that. We have to be careful about how much we eat today so that we, save ourselves some room for our spectacular dinner. But anyway, now we are going to head into town and have some breakfast. So today we're doing the walkway over the Hudson, which is the world's longest pedestrian bridge. And over here is the town of Poughkeepsie. And this is the Mid-Hudson Bridge, which we had to drive across from Poughkeepsie in order to get here. Here's the Walkway. And in that direction, over there is Hyde Park, where the CIA is, where I was a student about 15 years ago. And that's how I know my way around the Hudson Valley, because I lived here for 2 years while attending culinary school. But while I was there, I never did the walkway over the Hudson, so we're doing it today. So we're now standing on the Poughkeepsie side of the river, or the east side, looking north, and those mountains in the distance are the Catskills. Hi everyone, it is a few minutes after 6 and we are almost ready to head over to the CIA to have dinner, but I wanted to catch you up on what we did today. We did the walkway over the Hudson, and that was beautiful, especially with all of the fall colors on the trees. Then we walked from Highland, which is on the west side of the river, over to Poughkeepsie on the east side, and then we stopped and had lunch at a cute little cafe called Lola's, and that was very good. We had the chance to warm up a little bit because it was quite windy on the bridge. And although it wasn't super cold, we did get pretty chilled just because of how strong the wind was. And after our lunch, we walked back the other way across the bridge. And then we drove up to Kingston, which is a little farther north, kind of almost directly across the river from Rhinebeck, where we're staying. And we spent the afternoon in Kingston. We had coffee at a cute little coffee shop called Monkey Joe's. Was that right? Monkey Joe's? Was that the coffee shop?
Yeah.
Yeah, Monkey Joe's. That was an adorable little coffee shop. And then we just kind of walked around and browsed some vintage stores. Didn't find anything that we couldn't live without, but we enjoyed browsing anyway. There were some really nice vintage and antique stores there. And we also met a very sweet cat who lived in a house right next to where we parked our car. An orange cat named Ginger, who got up and came over to us without us even calling him, and he wanted to be petted and scratched and everything. Very sweet cat. A neighbor told us that people try and steal this cat because he's so sweet. But we did not steal him. We left him where he was, but we enjoyed petting him and making friends with him. And then we came back to our little Airbnb and unwound for a bit, and I have just taken a shower and freshened up, and we are now going to head over to the CIA, and we're going to be a little early for our dinner reservation. But I'm hoping that we will be able to just walk around a little bit and I can show Paul some of the places where I used to go, classrooms that I used to learn in. I don't know how this will go, honestly, though, because we might be kind of getting there when all of the students are taking their dinner break. well, some students are taking their dinner break, other students are cooking and serving those students. So I don't know, it could be like chaos, or we could be denied entry because we're not part of a tour group or anything. So I don't know, we're just gonna go and see what happens. We're just gonna park in the visitors deck and head on in and hopefully be able to walk around a little bit and explore. I have a feeling the gift shop is probably closed. I'd really like to visit the gift shop to get myself like a ravioli cutter, but a pasta cutter, one of those that makes the nice ridges on your raviolis or lasagna. So we'll see what we can see. Regardless, we're going to go back another day so that we can go to the Apple Pie Bakery and Cafe, because that's a must. The pastries there are phenomenal. But yeah, I think we're going to head out just about now. I'm probably just going to bring my iPhone to vlog dinner, because I just feel like it would be in poor taste for me to go to a fancy French restaurant and whip out my big, nice camera. So I'm just going to take video on my iPhone, so the quality might be a little bit lower, but the lighting might be dim in there anyway, so we'll see what I can show you of our dinner, but it's going to be really delicious. I know that for sure. So this is the main dining hall at the CIA, where I had many a meal. And we always joked that it reminded us of the Great Hall in Hogwarts. And I think you can see why. And this building used to be a Jesuit monastery. And this was, I think, like their central worship space, which is why you have stained glass religious scenes. And you have all of the little alcoves like this that would have been maybe little chapels or something. But anyway, it looks just about exactly the same as when I was a student here 15 years ago. This is Paul's scallop tartare. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, scallops tartare, including sea urchin, which I don't think either he nor I have ever tried.
I don't think
But
so.
we're both going to try it tonight. And then I have lemongrass flavored mussels from Prince Edward Island. Alright, so this is my lobster fricassee, featuring, starring a Maine lobster. I have never eaten a whole lobster like this, so this is going to be interesting. And then let me show you what Paul has. This is the duck, right?
Yeah. Duck, rohan,
Duck.
rohan duck with
what
black
else?
trumpet mushrooms,
All right, black trumpet mushrooms,
beets,
beets,
and orange jus.
orange jus. You know what the rolled up crispy thing is?
Parsnips.
Okay, the rolled up crispy thing is parsnips. Enjoy, bon appetit. So this is Paul's apple dessert. Remember what it was called? She just told us.
I do not. I remember it's a poached apple
Yeah.
with
I know there's shortbread
apple
cookie,
meringue,
there's like a pink
shortbread
peppercorn
cookie.
meringue, there's caramel sauce, obviously. What kind of ice
Parmesan
cream did she
cheese.
say? Got Parmesan
Saffron.
cheese. Oh, nice. Okay. And then I have a dessert called pumpkin and chocolate. So you see it's like in a cylinder, more or less, of tempered chocolate. And there's like a pumpkin bread in here that you can't see. And pumpkin and chocolate ganache or puree or something like that. I'm gonna have to look at the menu to remind myself what all is in this. But there's pomegranate seeds, pepitas, edible flowers. It looks like maybe, I don't know, sage leaves. Again, I'm going to have to look up the menu to remind myself what is in this, but a little bit of gold leaf too. Very pretty. And I'm sure it's delicious. Good morning, everyone. I am outside of our Airbnb because it is such a beautiful morning, and I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about our dinner last night at the CIA at the Bocuse restaurant, which when I was there was called Escoffier, but they renamed it a few years ago to Bocuse. I found out from one of the students, and we had such a lovely dinner. It was absolutely phenomenal. I loved everything I tasted, and I'd say the highlight for me was the dessert. The pumpkin and chocolate dessert was so good. It was, yeah, just absolutely delicious. I didn't take any footage of like the restaurant itself because I wanted to respect the privacy of the students who are there, you know, to learn and to work, not to be tourist attractions. CIA is a little weird in that sense, in that it is a tourist attraction, but it's also a college, and I felt like the students deserved to be able to be in class and do their work without being filmed by the public. So, yeah, I just took video footage of the food itself. So apologies that I didn't show the restaurant, but it's very, very pretty, very elegant, kind of modern decor. And we had just a lovely time. We did also have the chance to walk around the main building a little bit, Roth Hall, but we'll be able to, I'm hoping that we'll be able to go back later in our vacation during the daytime so I can film a little bit more of the campus for you, because it is lovely. And we'll go to the Apple Pie Bakery and the bookstore, which is really a gift shop. And I'll be able to get my ravioli cutter there. But anyway, after dinner last night, we just came back here to the Airbnb and relaxed and, you know, did some reading, caught up on our emails, that kind of thing, and then we went to bed. And now it is, I think, about maybe 8:30 or so on Friday morning, and we are just gonna head into Rhinebeck quickly to get breakfast. We're gonna eat something very light because we have lunch booked later today at Mohonk Mountain House, and we're really looking forward to that. And so Mohonk Mountain House, they're kind of a resort, and it's very expensive to stay there overnight, but if you just book like a meal there or a service at the spa, you can spend the entire day there enjoying the amenities of the resort, which includes lots and lots of hiking trails. You can take a boat out on their lake if you want to. I think it's probably just too cold for us to want to do that today, but we're definitely going to hit the hiking trails. You can join their like afternoon tea and cookies. You can just roam around the public areas of the mountain house itself, which is basically this enormous Victorian castle. It's beautiful. So yes, I have been there before. Again, about 15 years ago, a friend and I went there and we just booked a service at the spa. We got pedicures, and then we spent the rest of the day like swimming in the pool, soaking in the hot tub, hiking. all of that. So that's kind of how I know about the deal. But it was beautiful, and I have wanted to go back ever since. So that is the plan for today. We have an absolutely gorgeous day for it. So it should be a wonderful day. So here we are at Mohonk Mountain House, which, as you see, is very extensive. Not really a house so much as a castle. And we're gonna go inside and have lunch here and explore. So Paul is tossing fish food into the lake. They'll give you fish food for free to feed the fish. Hi everyone, so we have had our lunch in the Mohonk Mountain House main dining room, and that was incredible. It was an all-you-can-eat buffet, and we ate all that we could eat. There was, what all was there? There was a pasta station, there was a carving station, there was salad, there was soup, there was like various other things like chicken, salmon, veggies, quite the array of desserts, quite the array of bread. There was just, I don't know, everything. We stuffed ourselves, and then we had a little coffee. The room itself was stunning, but I didn't want to take any video in there. Again, just kind of out of respect for people's privacy. They're just out there enjoying lunch, not expecting to be filmed. So, but it's a gorgeous room. It's huge, and there are these enormous windows that look out over the view of the mountains. And now we're sitting in a little gazebo on the edge of the lake, and it is just glorious out here. I will pan around and show you our view. So here is, of course, the mountain house and the lake. And the trees are in their, I think, their peak for fall foliage. And even the clouds are being very picturesque for us. So I think we're gonna do some walking. I think we're starting with an easy trail because we're so full. but we might do a harder trail later. We're actually sitting next to a trail called the Labyrinth that sounds intriguing, but it's a rock scramble trail, and I don't feel up for that right now. Having just eaten a big lunch, I don't feel like rock climbing. So we're gonna do just like a nice easy walk, I think, and then see how we feel later on. But this place couldn't be more beautiful. Highly recommend coming here if you are ever in the Hudson Valley and looking for a nice day trip. And if you're up for spending like $900 a night, you know, by all means stay here. But you can get a lot of the experience by just doing some kind of day activity like lunch or dinner, or booking a treatment at the spa or something like that. Alright, but that's all for now. We are going to do some walking now. So this was the view from the dining room. We're standing on now the sunset porch, and the dining room is right over there. And it looks out over the Catskills. So we're now wandering around the gardens at Mohonk, and we found a double-decker gazebo, which I think we have to go inside and climb it. Yes?
Yes.
Let's see what we can see. This is like a magical little tree house. Here we are, top. Just beautiful. Oh, something blooming. Let's look at it. Don't know what these are, but they are the only thing I've seen blooming still in the gardens. This being late October, we didn't really expect anything to be blooming in the gardens, but they're still pretty, as you can see. What you really come here for this time of year is obviously the fall colors. So we're at another little gazebo up past the gardens, and to one side we have beautiful forest. But then to the other side we have a spectacular view. So we have a visitor on our trail. So it's actually two deer, a male and a female. Female is lying down. And they seem completely unconcerned about us.